around, I sort of feel like I'm in the middle of an archaeological dig. No, I'm not, but I am standing in front of Canada's very first Tozan kiln, and we'll be talking to Les Beardsley about it and Dr. Yamamoto, who were instrumental in bringing it here to Canada, and a lot more other things on today's show.
Up there to the... Oh! Oh, it's down on my foot again!
Check around. Get it.
Got down and I can't get up. Got a heck of a lot of neat stuff.
Check Around, brought to you in part by Thrifty Foods and Women Only Fitness, University Heights.
Well, we have come in the middle of a very busy work day here at Malaspina College because there's a very exciting thing happening here. We have Potter Les Beardsley with us and Dr. Yukio Yamamoto. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. And I understand that he is responsible. This is pardon me, your name was?
Kate Baltimore.
And she's going to act as translator for us. I understand Dr. Yamamoto is responsible for this work of art behind us indirectly, and Les Beardsley is as well. This is a Tozan kiln.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit of the history, Les? I understand they date back to the early, what?
It goes back a long time, but the Tozan had almost died out, and way back Yukio restored it again. Mm-hmm. So Yukio is the only modern Tozan master.
Now, did he study under someone to learn the art of making?
There was no one else left.
Oh, I see.
So he revived it.
Oh, I see.
Brought it back again.
Now, did Dr. Yamamoto learn from his father, or did he study to learn about the...
先生、これは当山を建てますのは、どなたから習ったんでしょうか、それともご自分で研究してこういうものをなさったんですか。自分でも手作業で。Absolutely, I was blind to started from all by myself.
And he was able to bring it to this point where it's a fully functional kiln.
そうしてここまで来られたんですか。Yes, that's right.
Amazing. That really is amazing. We should maybe digress this a little bit. This is a pottery kiln, and inside the kiln to our right is a lot of Dr. Yamamoto's work. He is also a potter, is he not?
Oh, yes, yes.
And I understand that the Vancouver Art Gallery has some of his work.
Very famous in the world potter.
Wow, this is really exciting. And Les, you must be very pleased to be working under
Yes, it's a real
Dr.
honor
Yamamoto.
to be working with Yukio.
Now, something special for Nanaimo, that this is only the third Tozan kiln in the world. The other two are where?
The one is there's one in Japan, and then there's one in Arizona, and this is the only one in Canada.
Now, how did it come about to becoming here in Nanaimo?
Well, I talked to Yukio, and then later I went to Japan and asked him if he would come. We didn't have any funds, but it took us a couple of years to get going.
3 years in the works.
Yeah.
Now, as far as funding, were you having to take money out of your own pocket? Or?
We took money out of everybody's pocket.
I understand the Nanaimo Arts Council has been very instrumental.
The Art Council gave us quite a boost, and the college donated the land. And they actually loaned us some money, some funds.
And the idea for this kiln is to be used by the Nanaimo Arts Council or by the Tozan
It's
Society?
to be used by all of it together.
All potters?
The university, the Tozan College, and the Art Council.
Okay.
And the Vancouver Foundation, they donated money to us so that we could build this building.
Okay. Now, could you tell us briefly the history of the construction of the kiln? What are we looking at here, the different chambers and the tunnel and the chimney up there?
先生、恐れ入りますが、この東山のこの建て方のね、歴史って言いますか、そういうものをなんか説明していただけますか。
これはやはり中国から教えてもらったもんですよ。
This is I learned from China, ancient China kiln.
それからコリアから教えてもらったもんです。
Also from Korean.
Oh, I see. So history in Korean and Chinese culture.
しかし今たくさん残ってるのは日本に残ってるんですね。
The left these kind of kiln, old ones are mostly in Japan.
And they're still very popular there.
今とても人気がありますかって言いますね。この
そうですね。原子力、石炭、オイル、ガスですから、それが薪ですからね。はい。昔のものを使った、それが非常にまた魅力。
Well, atomic powers and electric gas, so on the oil, all these powers coming around.
Right.
So this is absolutely back to ancient
Back to
style wood firing.
Oh, it's all with
Wood
wood.
firing.
It takes a lot of wood to fire it, I understand.
Yeah.
たくさんいりますかって
木は
薪が、
はい、薪はたくさんいますけど木は生えます。石炭は生えない、オイルも生えない、電気も生えないけども木は生えていくっていうんですね。
Yeah. The wood we can get because trees we can grow and grows all the time. Oil you can't grow.
No.
Coal you can't grow. Electric you can make it but you can't really grow. Trees you can grow. So this is for Dr. Yamamoto is the unlimited energy source. Yes.
Now, right there, I think we're touching on a subject that is close to a lot of people's minds. How is this in terms of the environment? I imagine with wood burning, you're creating quite a bit of smoke. How are you counteracting that problem, Les?
Well, we've counteracted the smoke by putting burners in the stacks, and those stacks are the grate. And when the smoke comes through the grate, seat it up, and the superchargers they'll look after the smoke.
Oh, that's great. Now, this chamber that we're looking at now, this is actually the Tozan kiln to the left here.
Yes.
The part in the beginning is where the fire actually is.
Yes.
And then the next, what are these four chambers up top?
These are all. Well, there's ware in here as well as fire.
So there's pottery in there then.
In pottery, the first chamber.
Okay.
This is number 1 chamber, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay. And then
And
you put.
they're all full of pottery.
Now, how long would they be fired for?
That's a good question. Ask them exactly how long he figures.
何日ぐらいこの火は焚かなきゃいけませんか。
だいたい僕は4日ぐらいで終わりたいんだが、1週間かけてやるんです。
My hope is 4 days,
4 days.
but probably takes about 7 days.
Really?
Yeah.
And he will keep monitoring it to see how things are progressing.
So 先生が、
はい
焚き方を研究したり何かなさりながらやって焚くんでしょうかと。
非常に不安なんです。一番最初はね。はい。
This is the first, so I'm really worrying about it.
Oh, tell him not to worry. It'll go well, I'm
そう
sure.
だあんまり心配をせんように。
当座の違うのは、ここにシナモンを入れることですよ。
The old style of a Tozan is what's different. This one is the old style. They don't put pottery in the first firing place,
Okay.
but I designed to fire pottery in the
first
section too.
よその窯はここからシナモンを入れるんですが、私はそこを入れるんです。そこでもできると思って、20年ほど頑張ってみた。いいのができるんです。
Well, nobody uses that first chamber for putting pottery in.
Just Dr. Yamamoto.
Yeah, just Dr. Yamamoto. He said, I think I can do it. This is 20 years ago he found, and it come out unique pottery, the rest of it,
Now-
more unique.
Speaking on that, can the trained eye differentiate between a pot that's being fired in a normal kiln and a Tozan kiln?
Yes.
Would I be able to tell?
Yes.
I would be able to tell.
Yes, the colors are more vivid.
Are they? Now, is the grain different? The glazing different?
The radiance of the color.
It's just more vivid.
It's just, you can't miss it.
Isn't that amazing? I think Nanaimo is really, really blessed to have such a work of art here. Les, you're to be congratulated because I understand you've lost many years of sleep putting this project together. And Dr. Yamamoto, I thank you on behalf of Nanaimo and Canada for bringing this treasure to our island.
カナダと七井も代表してお礼を申し上げます、先生に。
Thank you. And I understand that the first firing up is happening this Sunday.
This Sunday,
At 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Here at Malaspina College, if you just sort of come through the student resident parking lot, there's a sort of a gravel road that you follow and you can find it. Come and find out just how wonderful the art of Tozan really is and celebrate with you. Thank you very much, Les. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Yamamoto. Thank you very much.
you.
How are you doing down there for wood, Ray, George? Okay.
We started out by going to George McGlattery at the Art Council with the idea, and Les talked to George, and she thought it was great to go for it. We wanted to put on the college grounds because of the fact then it would be available to all educational institutions in BC or anywhere in Canada for them to come and fire it. It was then suggested to us that we form a society and that the society build and maintain the kiln. Rich Johnson of the college was very cooperative in seeing that we got a piece of land on the college grounds. He thought it was a wonderful idea, bless his heart, and so between the college and the Nanaimo Art Council and the Tozan Cultural Society, this has become a reality.
Well, I first met Les about 87, 88, when he first enrolled in the ceramics class here at Malaspina. And we got to know each other, and he continued his ceramics potting after he finished, and we kept in close contact. And that's how I first met him. About 1993, he and I were destined to go to this Arizona clay stomp. It's international clay stomp. But I couldn't make it at the last moment, so he went by himself, and he was the only representative from Canada who went. And he succeeded in getting to know Yukio Yamamoto quite well, and Les conveyed his ideas about having a Tozan kiln here in Canada, and from there it led on to closer communications, and finally later on we were able to have him come over to take a look at the campus. Apparently Les tried to get a hold of him some way or another because he knew about Yukio Yamamoto and the kiln that was built there on Northern Arizona University campus there, which was about 9 years ago now. So apparently Les knew about that, so he also knew about Yukio Yamamoto and was keen on meeting him, so there was a motive on his part. And on Yukio's side, I think he was ready to build another kiln.
The literal translation of the word Tozan, as I understand it from Keiko-san, is stepping up side of mountain. Because the kilns originated in China in the 200 BC with the Han Dynasty, a lot of people think of them as dragons because when they fire them, you have basically an entity that looks like a dragon, because you have the face of the dragon in the dogi, which is the very, very front chamber, and in the opening of the mouth, I mean, if people were there to see the tongue coming out, it was just breathing, this tongue was coming out, and as you go along through the different chambers and up the long chimney to the end of it and to the top of it, and there's the rest of the flame from the front wagging away, and so you really, literally, you have a dragon.
We did see quite a bit of potential in terms of the advancement of ceramics, because there isn't a single climbing kiln that I know of in Canada, let alone a Tozan kiln. So by having the opportunity to build one and having it established in Nanaimo here was a tremendous advantage, and we really appreciate Yukio volunteering to do this for us.
I heard that Yukio Yamamoto would come to the United States. I tried a couple times to find him, but I never connected. It's always too late. So 3 years ago, I went to see if I could catch a hold of him, and he had just left by one day. But Don Bendel said, "Hey, Les, you come on back here next year." And he said, "I'll invite you to make this mural for peace." And he said, "When you do that, at the clay stomp," he said, "Yukio will be here, so you're bound to meet him." So I did, and I got to know Yukio. I worked with him, and he tolerated me, and pretty quick we got to be good friends. They invited me to Japan, and so once I had enough money, I found out. First off, I went and got permission from the university to build this kiln here on university property. And I went to the Art Council and to see if the Art Council would help me. And then the idea of Tozan grew. Actually, it became a reality at the Art Council.
Now, there was over 33,000 bricks moved, the equivalent of 250 tons, and just looking at the logistics of putting that into a budget, a proposed budget, I mean, we were looking at, I think, in the neighborhood of 110,000 or somewhere in that neighborhood we had it listed for. And Crane Canada, of course, was absolutely marvelous, especially Terry Allenby. I mean, he said, bricks? Well, you know, he's moving Crane Canada to the East Coast, so getting people over there, I mean, Les literally had to move to Vancouver, live on site there in Crane Canada, and for the 3 months I think he was there, I mean, people were saying, oh, well, come on over, you know, which was great. You got to take a shower.
One of the members of the Tozan Society, a potter by the name of Kathy Jefferson from Vancouver and Lynn Johnson from Courtney, heard about Crane Canada. They're the plumbing people, and they have this humongous car kiln there that they were no longer using, and they were planning on dismantling it. So we got hold of Crane and got permission to go and get the bricks.
I think when we first started, as early as 2 years ago, it was, this whole idea was more or less in a dream state. I call it a dream state is because there was nothing definite. However, we knew that it was possible. We could build actually a kiln. The possibility was there. However, when you do take on a project like this, you don't fully realize what can be accomplished until you do it. And that's exactly what we were, what that state we were in at that time. Take, for example, the year ago, August, when we brought all the bricks over from Crane Canada, from Coquitlam. When we went over there the first time to see this kiln, which was about 500 feet long and had a railroad track in it, or looked like a railroad track, we were completely, you know, surprised that it was so huge, and we knew there was a lot of time going to be involved on taking it apart. Les and his supporters spent maybe 3 months at that place trying to dismantle the bricks. One of the biggest climaxes was the dismantling of the kiln over there, because it was just too big.
Okay. Okay, kiln, this is this style go kana? This style.
Yeah, up there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. With this.
Yeah.
This or this.
But see, there's lots of room now, Yukio.
Hi.
So we didn't know where to put the kiln.
Yes.
So if we're going to decide to put it here, then we have lots of room for other things.
Yes. Okay.
I'll go get the pigs.
Okay, thank you.
Now, where do you think?
I'll hold it. You got it. Just a minute. This one, that slope, okay. More down, show. This. Okay.
You want down?
Yeah. These are flat.
Huh?
This flat.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
pollution controls an environment. I mean, we live in an age now where society is very, very conscientious of what's happening, or they're trying to be conscientious of what's happening in the environment. And when Les wrote the first application and went into these people about this kiln, of course, the first thing they did, they looked at him like he was totally mad. You're going to put what into the air? And they couldn't understand. It seems like the more paperwork you get behind you, they could not understand that because the kiln burns so fast and so hot, that there really wouldn't be that many pollutants into the air, and very little, I don't even know what you want to call them. So, I mean, they made us install this gas burner, and really it hasn't played that big of a thing, but I guess you might even almost think of it's more of a psychological cradle, because like I know they're starting to have a little bit of trouble down in the Flagstaff kiln. People are starting to say, gee, look at all that black smoke, and of course black smoke is not necessarily bad if there aren't a lot of emissions in it.
Very close there, you feel?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Want a shower again?
Hey, word?
Want a bath?
No, thanks. Not yet.
You get stiff.
DJ.
Oh, no.
How about this one?
Thank you. Now,
You go.
half pick. I think that's half pick, and I'll do some myself.
Mine is thick.
Yeah.
Gotta run out of bricks here.
You never know.
You know?
Yeah.
Another one?
What does that mud consist of?
It's clay with no sand mixed in, or a little bit actually, and hay. So the fibers are strong, and it acts like a cement, and it seals all the holes.
About 4 hours.
See, and this one could go down real quick because 9 is down already.
Not this much. I got involved.
But there's a whole bunch of 8 starting in here, going that way.
It'll be fun. Also, there's a tradition of pots in the
sag and become very fluid. Letting go of preconceptions, that's another lesson.
Stoke 3. Don't finish.
Your old kid, Pat, I had a good time when they was here. We have buried the one that planned up the beach. There's no sticking out. Jump there! What's the kid? I'm going to try to be a victim of the show. I'm jump on it. That's good. So we have this match. I'm we have to get. Very hot too, yeah. Yeah. Green.
Ready? Ready? Stop! Okay.
Very hot.
They packed that
Going too fast?
Going too fast? Good. What they looked like when they were ready?
Yeah.
Hi.
Minawasa, yokoso, shaidi kajusai, mashita. Nanaimo Tozan Kiln Ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, very welcome to Tozan Kiln Society opening.
Everybody who is here today is part of a dream. And it's a dream that's been going on for many years.
It is with great pride that I can say on behalf of the board of directors and all the members of the Nanaimo Arts Council that we have done everything possible to help and bring this kiln to the city of Nanaimo. That is, after all, the mandate of the Arts Council, and I think we fulfilled it.
I wish to thank, on behalf of the citizens of Nanaimo, all of the people who worked so hard to make this possible. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I had a dream. I started this dream with my family and shared it with them. Yukio Yamamoto, Rich Johnson, George McGlattery, Jackson Hirota, and Keiko Bottomley. With the help of the members of the Tozan Society, the Seven Potatoes, the Art Council, Crane Canada, and funds from the Vancouver Foundation, the Canada Council, the City of Nanaimo, and the business people and citizens of Vancouver Island, Nanaimo, and British Columbia. That dream is reality here today. Thank you.
As always, when I take things to the board, I go with information and usually go quite well prepared, but this time I really didn't know what a climbing kiln was or a Tozan kiln was, but they had faith in the idea, gave us the green light to go ahead, and we have Jane Gregory and the board to thank for that.
秋風峰を吹いて落葉を運ぶ昨今門を開く東山の釜誰か知る演武東土の道超音やむことなくして海鳥の遊ぶ
The wind running from mountain to mountain. Lowly autumn fallen leaves. Now Tozan kiln open its gate. Who knows a dancing fire? This is a way of clay. In the tide never endure pound. Ocean bricks play. That's
I think the important thing that you've done in following your dream, Les, Yukio, you people here, you've created the nest. And now it's time the birds will come, as they have come to our place in Arizona from all over the world. And so brotherhood is together. Thank you very much. どうも。
今からここに作品が出てきます。中には素晴らしいものも出てきますが、醜いものも出てきます。しかしどちらも同じなんです。醜いのはもういっぺん焼いてください。今度は立派な顔をして出てきますと、そういう顔をして出てくると思います。
Now we are going to get the pottery out from this kiln. Some of them might be very, very pretty. Some of them might be very ugly. But ugly ones, beautiful ones, they are equally wonderful thing. As the ugly ones, they can become pretty as you find again.
いい作品を作るのは簡単です。悪い作品を作るのは大変な勇気がいるんです。
To make beautiful part is easy, but to make ugly, worthless pottery is a very, very courageous to make that.
だから悪い作品から買ってやってください。
So please buy bad, ugly pottery.
Thank you.
Hot. Oh, it's a beauty. Well, I really like that one. One of those you have to. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this shading, huh? This is beautiful. Oh. You got more than one here. Yeah. You got some more. I know, but I'm looking, you know. This is nice. I like this. This is so nice where it kind of goes away and. Yeah. Right. Natural ash inside.
I had a dream. I started this dream with my family and shared it with them. With the help of the members of the Tozan Society, the Seven Potatoes, the Art Council, Crane Canada, and funds from the Vancouver Foundation, the Canada Council, the City of Nanaimo, and the business people and citizens of Vancouver Island, Nanaimo, and British Columbia. That dream is reality here today. Thank you.
We started